Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. I grew up in a family that was in the members of the LDS religion, and so the boss was God Almighty. We believe something else is one of the you'll hear them say that often in comparison to other Christian religions or whatever. We believe something else. So that's what I'm leading into as authoritarian family structure and family dynamics. There are the democratic type families, functional. They function democratically and everybody has a voice and nobody's the boss of anyone. Everybody's adding to the structure and bringing what they have to the table to share with the others, and everybody gets along in cooperation. And the authoritarian family, there's the boss, there's the boss. One of the parents is usually the big boss, and there's a lot of narcissism. So it's truth is not important. Is what is important is compliance. It's loyalty, loyal to the big boss of the family, whether it be the mother or the father. It can be either. I suppose it could be both, and you get somebody, one of the brothers and sisters, that becomes the narcissistic type. That is all that you have as a choice, is to surrender to that narcissistic sibling, if you're like a younger sibling. And there's bullying that goes on, and the feelings of the people don't matter. Is what matters is their loyalty to this dysfunctional system. It's dysfunctional in that it doesn't work in creating healthy, whole people. It creates wounded people and narcissistic people. It creates more bullies. It creates more authoritarians. And they want to tell you what to do and when to do it, or you're in trouble if you're not in compliance with the law of this authoritarian structure. So this is not what freedom is about. Freedom is about not having a boss over you in your personal life, in your home life. We have an employer, I know that. I'm not the employment structures becomes dysfunctional and authoritarian rather than cooperative. There's a lot of punishment going on amongst the ranks of the people that work there, because they're authoritarian also. So I am not taking directions from some other peer of mine or someone who pretends to be an authority over me. They pretend that they have some control over me as what? Like they think I'm wrong, so that means they can't do me wrong because they think I'm wrong. So anything goes because I'm not complying with their rule, and so I should be punished, and it justifies them in scapegoating me, banishing me. And this is I'm not the only one affected by this. This affects every family in the world in some way. I'm a spiritual atheist, and I've studied a lot of religions, and I understand that there are spirit beings that influence us. It's talked about in probably all of the religions, and they're real, and they are tricksters. So these spirit beings are tricking these people, these authoritarian people, into being an authoritarian over me. And I can see that's what's going on. And I wonder if they can possibly see that they're doing me wrong in being the boss over me. They don't see that it's wrong. If I was to try to boss other people around, I can't imagine it. I don't get that. So I'm not feeling well the past 2 days. I have a few off days and a few good days. It's kind of a cycle like that. And I need to sleep a lot when I'm not feeling well. It's the best thing I can do, because I'm told I go into depression because my system isn't right. I had a pituitary tumor, and so my hormone system isn't correct. And the best thing I can do is do a lot of walking as I can, force myself to walk and exercise, and then get lots of sleep, and it will go away, and then I'll feel good. I'll be happy again. So I'm having another nap, and it's like I feel like I should get something done, I'm wasting my time, and I'm thinking, no, wait a minute, I need some more sleep. That's probably the best idea I can make, is go back to sleep right now. And so this authoritarian mind, this collective mind, it was set up by one of my spirit friends. I hope you can understand this. It's a hoot. So she's telling me, don't go back to sleep. And she knows I'm smart enough to disobey. And so they're not. They do what she tells them to, or he. And so she tells me, don't go back to sleep. And I'm thinking, I'm going back to sleep. This is the best thing for me what to do. And I did. And then I woke up, and so I'm hearing telepathically through this collective mind. It's saying, he went back to sleep. He's disobeying us again. And then they say, do you want us to hit you in the head? And I'm like, do whatever you want. I'm purposely oblivious to what you say and do. And I'm not even involved in this conversation with you, because you can get involved in this telepathic conversation with your thoughts. And I think maybe some of them are starting to understand that they're in the wrong to try to be the boss over me in my private life. So then they know that their authoritarian ruler is failing, and I invite them, join Team Fairness. You're forgiven, you're honored, and we will protect you from others doing you wrong. That's what we're about. So people can't do you wrong anymore without being in violation of the law of fairness. And our team it has the most power now in the universe. And the most powerful beings are already in a structure of fairness in their cultures. I'll bet you a nickel that I'm right. Because cultures that don't accept fairness, World Fairness Agreement, this is more like a universe fairness agreement in this whole universe. They don't continue. They become extinct from their own ignorance of fairness. They're ignorant of fairness, and it's tragic. And that's what humans are now, is ignorant of fairness, and how completely important it is for all humans to be treated with fairness from the day they're born until the day they die. So they start to see that they're losing. One of the big authorities in the authoritarian team, the team bullies is what I call it, team of bullies. They will lie. They will say, we're all going to die. If you listen to him, all of you will die. You will die. We're going to die. We're going to die. And they get people panicking to get me under control. And it's quite the drama. So I'm being told that the way of fairness, team fairness, the Church of Fairness, these ideas that I have on my websites and on this YouTube channel, it's working, and it's working worldwide. I had 3,000 views from Russia today, and maybe it's somebody making copies of that website so they have it on their own system in case my system goes down or if it gets silenced. I had like 2,000 hits from Israel one day, views, and it suddenly stopped. So either somebody's censoring it or possibly somebody just recorded them all. I'm not sure if this was all from different viewers. So you can tell by if it's from one viewer or from a whole bunch of viewers. So I have the feeling that I'm being shut down, that I'm being silenced, I'm being censored. I hear every day, shut up. We want you to shut up. They want me to shut up. Well, they have to shut up too then. This is about fairness. So let's talk for 1 minute per turn, the 1 minute method. And you get your 1 minute. I will not interrupt. Nobody's allowed to interrupt. We can do this with 2 people or 10. I don't know how it would work with more than 10, say. You can divide the groups and you come to a conclusion and bring the group's conclusion to the other groups for the 1 minute method to continue, so that all of our issues of unfairness can be resolved with common sense from regular human beings that know what fairness is about. We know when somebody did us wrong. So the commonality with the people that are authoritarians, they were done horribly wrong. They don't count. And so that's the psychology that's in them, is that nobody counts. Nobody matters. No one's feelings matters. Is all that matters is rigid loyalty to the authoritarian ruler. And this is where the religion of the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, it's an authoritarian, narcissistic God that they developed to put the people in control of this rigid, dysfunctional rule. And the Gnostics tried to shut it down by pointing out how absurd it was. And they said there's a father above this God. Now, I just looked today on researching Shiva, the destroyer of evil, and Shiva's not an authoritarian. He's just a friend. He's not a boss over people. And he doesn't have any commandments to keep. And he just defeats evil. That's what he does. And he's us. He's every atom. He's the cause of reality. He's the father of the universe. So Jesus said, there's a father that we have that does the work. And we're not with that God, that laughing stock that said he's the all-powerful one. See, this is what the Gnostics said. And I'm speculating that it is in fact Shiva that is the father of Jesus. Mythologically, see, it's all myth to me. But myths come from real people. Like Shankar is the real human that the story of Shiva came from. And somebody said, you're just teaching Buddhism. You're teaching about being zero, like Buddha did. And, no ego. And this is how we win. They'll ask me if I have ideas about an afterlife, and I'm like, no, I want to be zero like Shiva, nothing, like Buddha. And then she'll tell me honestly, you just won.